February 28th, 2026, a date that will be remembered as one of the most dramatic turning points in modern Middle East history. In a single coordinated night operation, the United States and Israel launched what they called Operation Epic Fury, the largest joint military strike in decades against the Islamic Republic of Iran. Reports confirm that Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who had ruled the country with an iron fist for 36 years, was killed in a precision strike on his compound in Tehran. More than 1,200 munitions rained down across 24 Iranian provinces, targeting everything from nuclear facilities to missile production sites and senior leadership bunkers. Tragically, 3 American service members have already been killed in the opening hours of retaliation, with 5 others seriously wounded. Iran has wasted no time firing back, launching waves of missiles and drones toward Israel and multiple Gulf states right now. Explosions are being reported in Dubai, Tel Aviv, and several U.S. partner bases. This is not just another limited skirmish or shadow war in the Middle East. This is a full-scale escalation that could reshape global energy markets, redraw alliances, and potentially trigger the largest regional conflict since the Gulf War. Stay with me as we break down every detail in this rapidly developing crisis. Welcome to World and Frames, the place where complex global events like this are explained clearly, factually, and without hype in under an hour. Today, on March 1st, 2026, we are providing the most comprehensive breakdown available anywhere on the U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran, the death of Supreme Leader Khamenei, the ongoing retaliation, and what this all means for oil prices, global security, and the very real risk of a wider war that could pull in Russia, China, and beyond. We'll walk you through the timeline, the military targets, the human cost, and the geopolitical fallout step by step using the latest verified reports from CENTCOM, Iranian state media, and international analysts. If you want daily real-time updates on geopolitics, breaking defense news, and clear explanations of world events as they unfold, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. We're covering this story every single day as it develops. Let's dive straight into the background and how we reached this historic moment. To fully understand why this happened on February 28th, 2026, we need to go back several years. For decades, Iran has been advancing its nuclear program despite international sanctions and multiple rounds of negotiations. Tensions escalated dramatically after the collapse of the 2015 nuclear deal, with Iran enriching uranium closer and closer to weapons-grade levels. Proxy attacks by groups like Hezbollah, the Houthis, and Iranian-backed militias in Iraq and Syria intensified throughout 2024 and 2025, targeting Israel and U.S. interests. In June 2025, Israel carried out its first major unilateral strikes on Iranian targets. By early 2026, diplomatic efforts had completely failed. 3 rounds of secret talks in Oman and elsewhere broke down when Iran refused to abandon its nuclear ambitions. On February 28th, President Donald Trump, acting in coordination with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, authorized direct U.S. involvement. The stated U.S. objectives, as outlined by President Trump himself on Truth Social, were crystal clear. Prevent Iran from ever acquiring a nuclear weapon, completely dismantle its ballistic missile arsenal and production facilities, degrade its proxy networks across the region, and neutralize its naval capabilities in the Persian Gulf. Trump also added a political goal: giving the Iranian people an opportunity to rise up against what he called a bloodthirsty terrorist regime. This operation, codenamed Epic Fury by the United States and Roaring Lion by Israel, marked the end of years of restraint and the beginning of open, direct confrontation. Let's walk through exactly what happened on Saturday, February 28, 2026. Operation Epic Fury began shortly after midnight local time. U.S.B. 2 Spirit stealth bombers flew long-range missions from Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean, while Israeli F-35 stealth fighters conducted multiple waves from bases inside Israel. The strikes were precisely coordinated and hit targets across all 24 provinces of Iran. Key sites included the nuclear enrichment facilities at Natanz and Fordow, where much of Iran's uranium enrichment capability was located, ballistic missile factories, IRGC command and control centers, air defense systems, and naval headquarters along the Gulf Coast were also destroyed. Most dramatically, a precision strike on the Supreme Leader's compound in Tehran resulted in the confirmed death of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, according to both Iranian state television and Israeli intelligence sources. Over 1,200 munitions were used in the first 24 hours alone, a scale never seen before in modern air campaigns against a nation of Iran's size. U.S. Central Command described the operation as ahead of schedule, while Israeli officials stated they had eliminated dozens of senior IRGC commanders and several top nuclear scientists in the opening salvos. Iranian media quickly confirmed the loss of their supreme leader and declared a 40-day national mourning period, but also vowed immediate and severe retaliation. The human cost of these strikes has already been significant on all sides. Iranian officials report more than 200 people killed, including civilians living near military bases that were targeted. One particularly tragic incident involved an elementary school near a military installation where over 100 girls were reportedly killed when a strike caused secondary explosions. Israel has confirmed at least 9 of its citizens killed by Iranian retaliatory fire in the first waves. Most critically for the United States, the Pentagon announced on March 1st that 3 American service members were killed and 5 others seriously wounded, the first U.S. combat deaths in this new conflict. These casualties occurred at a forward base in Kuwait during an Iranian missile barrage. As of right now, smoke continues to rise over large parts of Tehran and other major cities. Rescue teams and the Red Crescent are working around the clock. The operation did not stop after the first night. Fresh Israeli and U.S. strikes continued into Sunday, hitting additional leadership targets and missile storage sites. The situation on the ground remains extremely fluid and dangerous. Iran's response has been swift and widespread. Within hours of the initial strikes, Iran launched dozens of ballistic missiles and attacked drones toward Israel and 5 Gulf Cooperation Council states, specifically targeting locations in Dubai, Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, and the United Arab Emirates. Explosions have been confirmed in downtown Dubai and near Tel Aviv, with Israel's Iron Dome and U.S. defensive systems intercepting many, but not all projectiles. Shipping through the critical Strait of Hormuz, which carries roughly 20% of the world's daily oil supply, has been severely disrupted, with multiple tankers reporting threats and rerouting around Africa. Oil prices have already spiked above $80 per barrel, and analysts expect them to climb much higher in the coming days. Iranian officials have threatened their biggest wave yet of attacks, including potential strikes on U.S. bases across the region. This retaliation is clearly designed to impose immediate economic pain on the West and its allies, while trying to rally domestic support inside Iran during this leadership crisis. So, what does all of this mean for the world moving forward? This conflict has the potential to reshape the entire global order. Oil markets are facing their biggest crisis in decades, with analysts warning of possible shortages and prices potentially reaching $100 or more if the Strait of Hormuz remains contested. Experts from the Council on Foreign Relations and the Institute for the Study of War caution that while these airstrikes have severely degraded Iran's military capabilities and leadership, strikes alone rarely cause regime collapse. They could instead spark internal unrest or a prolonged insurgency. There is growing concern about refugee waves, further proxy escalations, and possible direct involvement from Russia and China, both of whom have already condemned the strikes in strong terms. President Trump stated today that operations are ahead of schedule and that the U.S. has already destroyed 9 Iranian naval vessels. He also urged the Iranian people to take back your country. The situation remains extremely fluid. New developments are coming in every hour. What do you think happens next? Will this lead to regime change from within Iran? Or are we looking at the beginning of a much wider regional war? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If you want daily updates and in-depth analysis like this as the crisis unfolds, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next update.